Hello, and welcome to Tuesdays with Trey. I'm Trey Anderson, coordinator for student-athlete success at Anne Arundel Community College Athletics. Today's edition of Tuesdays with Trey, I want to talk about final exam preparation, the most important time of the year for our student-athletes and students across the nation. Why? Because this gives us the idea of who's graduating and preparing for eligibility for next year. So, we're going to talk about the steps that you can do as a student to prepare yourselves for final exams. Now, the first step that you can take is to create your own study guide. Now, most professors provide study guides to students around the time of year of final exams, but understand that lingo, the information that you receive is in their terminology, in the terminology that best fits the material. But for you yourself, you may understand and learn a different way. So you want to create your own study guide that helps you understand the material easier. So when it comes time for the final exam, it's a breeze. Step 2, ask questions. Take this opportunity leading up to the final exam to ask your professor, your teaching assistants, and your tutors questions to help you understand the material. Anything you don't understand that's on that study guide that our teacher created, one that you modified, anything you don't understand that's not clear to you, ask questions so that you can have clear and concise understanding to make those exams easier for you. Next up is attend the review sessions. Most professors, after they give the study guide, give out specific dates and times in which they're going to go over the study guide and answer any questions that you may have to help you understand the material. So the most important thing for you as a student is to be there. So make sure you attend review sessions. Next up, start early. Do not wait until the night before the final exam to try to cram all of that information that you've learned throughout the entire semester in one night. It's not going to happen. It's only going to hurt you. Take this time now while you have about a week, week and a half, some schools 2 weeks, to prepare for your final exam. Steps 1 through 3 are important because that early start time is going to allow you to attend review sessions, going to allow you to ask the questions and give you time to create that guide. So steps 1 through 3 are only kind of guiding you for steps 4, which is to start early. Next, organize a group study session. Contact your friends in the class, contact your teammates, because some of you are going to have teammates in your class. And that way you guys can sit down together, go over the information. It's only going to be beneficial to you. Because there's a lot of material to cover normally coming around final exams. So you're going to want somebody else. You're going to want those other minds to kind of brainstorm. So that way you can have a clear and concise, and you're going to hear this throughout the entire session, clear and concise information regarding the subject so that you can be successful at the final exam. So one of the things we talked about was starting early. Starting early gives you a great advantage to this next step, which is take breaks. When you take a break, it gives you the opportunity to slow yourself down and to retain the information. Remember, the more you put in your mind at one time, the less you retain. If you have breaks in there, take a little bit here, a little bit there, and the next thing you know, you got the information locked in come final exam time. So you started everything early, you got that breaks in. One of the things that comes with taking breaks is getting rest, okay? So take the time to manage your rest. 6 to 8 hours of sleep. If you break everything down throughout the day, remind you, this is only for final exams, okay? This is a great opportunity to practice your time management skills. So what you want to do is, hey, pick a start time that you want to study, how long you want to study it for, take a break, whether you take some micro naps throughout the day, or you just get a good full 8 hours of sleep, 6 to 8 hours of sleep the night before. That can be a strong advantage for you to retain that information. Now, funny enough, we're talking about time management, right? So one thing that comes with time management is time, okay? There's 24 hours in a day. It's only so much you can do. So you have to take the time to make your own schedule. Make a study schedule. You know the responsibilities that you have throughout the day with anything else in your regular life. So you know what times best work for you. Like I said, 1 to 2 hours at a time with one course of information is efficient. Trust and believe me. When you do that, it allows you the ability to retain that information. You can come back, or you can go to those study groups that you used earlier, or you can go to those questions that you have. So when it comes down to review sessions, but guess what? When you have that schedule in place, it gives you the ability to have that time managed perfectly to get the information retained. So with that being said, next step, prioritize your study time. Make sure the times you're picking are in effective time slots. Don't pick 7 a.m. when you know you just woke up, you're still tired, you're hungry. Don't pick 7 because you got a lot to do to prep to get your mind right. Maybe 9 o'clock, so that gives you time to shower, gives you time to eat, get your mind clear, get your intentional space, something we talked about in the earlier Tuesday with Trey, okay? And then you can have that as your start point. And then throughout the day, you have similar activities. Make sure your mind is fed, make sure your stomach is fed, so that way you're not tired, you're not distracted. Okay, so the next thing, study for the style of the exam. That is very important. There's so many different ways professors will give out exams, whether it be multiple choice, fill in the blank, short answer, essay style. You need to know that when you're prepping those study guides and attending those review sessions, you ask the question, what style of exam will we have? That gives you the ability to prep yourself to study for that style. So a very important step in this process is to quiz yourself. All right, so there's a lot of different styles to do this. One of the more common ways is to take index cards, write the question on one side, the answer on the other. Read the question to yourself, answer it out loud, flip the card over and see if you got it right. Now, you want to kind of track that information to see the ones you got wrong as well, because guess what? When you go into another environment, when you get a partner, go into those group study sessions, now you can try the ones you got wrong, and then you go back to the ones you got right, and you keep doing it. You want to do this about 3 different ways, 3 different times, so that way you can know whether or not you have truly retained the information. Now, I feel this is one of the most underutilized steps in this entire exam preparation process. Meeting with the professor. You've already gotten your study guide. You've already had your group sessions, your review sessions. You do the quizzing yourself, you quiz with a partner. You do all these things to prepare, but a lot of our students forget to try to meet the professor one last time prior to that exam starting. This gives you an opportunity to get any last questions out the way, to find out any other new tips and tricks for that exam that you can. This is an opportunity to show the professor that you really are taking this exam serious because you want to pass with the highest score possible. So you got a lot of information, gone through every possible step you can now. So one of the last things you want to start doing is to reorganize your notes. Why? Because based off your review sessions and study guides and everything that you've got in preparation for this exam, you may find out that there's some information that's a little more important than the other. So you want to take the information that you may have had up here that may not be as important. And when you found out, especially when you met that professor that last time, that there's something that you might want to know a little more, you want to put that as your priority to review again. So reorganize your notes. The next step, pace yourself. You've done everything possible to have the best time management if you follow these previous steps. So remember, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. That's why you've done this process, so that you can retain the information as best as possible. Pace yourself. Now, one of the great things about properly preparing for an exam is that it gives you the ability not to just learn the information that you've already been taught throughout the entire semester, but it gives you the ability to learn some new information, to make you a stronger student. And when you have students who don't prepare as well as you, you're going to have a lot of questions. And this gives you the opportunity to teach your classmates information that you may have learned. The best way to do this is in those group sessions, those one-on-one partner sessions. Make sure when you're preparing for this exam, you're not doing it alone. Now, one of my favorite points when it comes to the exam preparation process is revolving your focus. You need to make sure you give the same exact type of energy across all subjects. No matter how good you are at a subject, you may know something like the back of your hand, you still want to double check. Because a lot of times when you get a little cocky in your mind, that 100 exam that you had becomes a 90 or 95 or maybe even a 99 because you didn't give the same energy because you thought you had that information locked in. Also, you don't want to get your mind and your eyes glazed over and tired of looking at the same exact thing. So revolve your focus to another subject, and guess what? You will be equally successful across all of your subject exams. So, colors. Color coding is very essential. Why? Because our mind are trained to understand colors. The most common way is a stoplight. It's 3 colors. We got red, yellow, and green. Each color tells us something. Red, stop. Yellow, proceed with caution. Green, go. You can take those same 3 colors, or you can whatever colors you like to make the same type of system for your exam preparation. Myself, normally I use green as something I got. It's pretty easy for me. Yellow, a little on the fence. I got it, but I kind of forget it here and there. And red, this is priority. Something I cannot remember easily. I need to work hard at it to get this information. Now, everyone does not learn the same way. So that's why I have to include this into this presentation. Some of us are visual learners. So therefore, we have to visualize. Find something that you can add into your notes, whether it be a picture, okay? Whether you listen to a song and that helps you remember it. Anything. So visualize the answer that you need to be beneficial for you to get that information retained in your mind. So these are a lot of different steps. This final exams is very important. But one thing is, no matter how many steps it is, you can create your own flow, okay? That is the most important thing you have to remember. When you're doing this, you make it for you so that you can be successful. But there's one step, no matter how you plan it out, that you have to include in your plan. Just one. That's the final step I'm going to teach you today, number 20, which is make it fun. All right? And no matter how you do this, you got to make it fun. The more fun this process is for you, guess what? The easier these exams will be, and the more successful you will be. So the final step, make it fun. So I wish you all the best of luck in your final exams. I wish everyone a successful semester, A's and passes, and everything you can do to be the strongest student that you can be. So, thank you for your time, thank you for your patience, and thank you for watching Tuesdays with Trey. Have a good day.